Ladies and gentlemen, the court is ready, the players are ready. Let's meet the Manila Mavericks. Led by their coach, the 1998 Roland Garros men's singles champion from Spain, Carlos Moya.
Carlos played well in his first set last week, then got injured. And it's going to be tough for him to play any kind of part in the matches this week, but he was subbed amply by Mark Philippoussis.
A winner of 3 ATP World Tour doubles titles. From the Philippines, Treat Huey.
Well, his last 2 matches at Manila, he was outstanding. The local boy, I tell you what, he buoyed the fans, played some jaw-dropping stuff.
Our next Maverick has won 85 doubles titles during his career. 8 of those doubles titles in Grand Slam tournaments. And this year, he won titles in Rome and Madrid and in the Masters Series. Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada, Daniel Nestor.
Well, Nestor made his debut in the singles last week. He was called upon at the very last moment. Didn't play particularly well. It was a little bit of a shock, but he'll play a lot better in the doubles and the mix. This guy is recession-proof.
In 2012, our next Maverick secured her first WTA Tour victory, winning the Quebec City tournament. And in 2013, a finalist in the Netherlands. From Belgium, Kirsten Flipkens.
We played some very good mixed doubles with Andy Murray when these two teams lost locked horns. A 6-1 victory over Williams and Hewitt. And she want more of the same today, so look good in her first round of matches, did Kirsten.
Our next player won 11 ATP Tour singles titles, a finalist at the Wimbledon Championship and at the US Open. And he was ranked at number 8 in the world. From Australia, Mark Philippoussis.
In for Carlos Moya. And didn't he play well in defeating fellow countryman Pat Rafter? So the one set played, 6 games scored for the team. And I'm expecting more of the same this evening. He looks fighting fit, Philippoussis.
Our next Maverick has won 11 career singles titles this year, winning the ATP World Tour Masters Event 1000 in Canada. From France, Joe Wilfried Songa.
Well, he is pure box office, and I saw him working out hard in the gym this morning, and he said to me he was very much looking forward to this contest this evening and getting his teeth stuck into some singles action.
And now, here come the DBS Singapore Slammers. Led by their coach from Australia, Joshua Eagle.
Josh has a full roster to pick from this evening. And it's all about picking the right players for the right matches and making good use of home court advantage.
Our next slammer has 18 career doubles titles to his credit, including wins this year at the Masters Series in Canada and in London at the Queen's Club. From Brazil, Bruno Soares.
Well, if called upon to play some doubles, he is rock solid. But of course, when you've got a bench as deep as the DBS Singapore Slammers, game time is going to be limited for Bruno. But a good team player, always arousing the troops.
Our next DBS Slammer has won 6 career singles titles on the WTA Tour and has also won 3 Grand Slam doubles titles during her career. From Slovakia, it's Daniela Antikova.
Struggled initially in the first couple of sets last week, but then finished strongly. And then, of course, her place was taken by Serena Williams. But again, a great squad player to have.
Next up, a young man who is one of the emerging new stars of world tennis. He defeated Rafael Nadal at Wimbledon this year. From Australia, it's Nick Kyrgios.
Well, this guy is golden box office. Had a phenomenal run in Manila, and the crowd really took to him. Racked up 17 games for his team in 5 sets. Played some superb tennis along the way.
Our next slammer won 11 singles titles during his career, including 2 ATP Master Series events. A dual Grand Slam singles champion. The US Open was his in 1997 and again in 1998. From Australia, Patrick Rafter.
He's from Yamundi in Queensland, Australia. It's not quite the outback, but the tennis that he plays is raw and very physical. Easy on the eye, and hopefully we'll see a bit of him today.
In 2001, he won the US Open men's singles title. In 2002, he was crowned the men's singles champion at Wimbledon. He now has 30 singles titles to his credit. From Australia, Leighton Hewitt.
And Hewitt, of course, was the youngest ever world #1. It's a fact that often a lot of people forget, and we shouldn't, because he was outstanding at such a young age. And he can play anything, bit of singles, bit of doubles, bit of mixed. Again, a great team player.
To our next slammer, a man with 10 career singles titles, including tournament wins this year in Stockholm and Rotterdam. Currently ranked number 7 in the world. From the Czech Republic, Tomáš Berdych.
Mr. Consistent has racked up a fair few points already for his team as Thomas. 21 games in total at an average of 5.25 per set.
Our next DBS slammer has won 18 Grand Slam singles titles. She is the reigning US Open women's singles champion. In all, 64 career titles, including the WTA Final Series in Singapore just a month ago. She is the world #1 from the United States of America. She is Serena Williams.
Quite simply, one of the greatest female players of all time. Struggled in her opening set last week to get used to the format and the speed of the court, but was a lot better in her second set, and I think she's going to play lights out here in Singapore this week.
4 Australian Open titles. The 1999 Roland Garros Championship. The 1992 Wimbledon Championship. The 1994 and 1999 US Open champion. 8 Grand Slam singles titles. 60 ATP Tour singles titles. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to Singapore, Andre Agassi.
They do not come much bigger in the entertainment world. In the sportainment world, he's probably #1. What a career, what a character. And he's here in Singapore for us to see in living color. AA in the house.
And what a welcome. So the Manila Mavericks have it all to do this evening. Be interesting to see how much of an effect Carlos Moya, who's captaining the team for the first time instead of Trent Huey, who of course hails from Manila. He did a fantastic job last week, so a lot of responsibility on the Spaniard this evening. Time now then to introduce the captains. Here's Craig Willis.
Well, we have with us Carlos Moya in his new role as the coach of the Manila Mavericks, and Josh Eagle, coach of the DBS Singapore Slammers. Our chair umpire from Australia is Mr. John Blom. He has the coin, and then we're going to find, all will be revealed after we've tossed the coin.
Okay, I'd like to ask Mr. Eagle if he would call. We have 2 options here, Coca-Cola bottle or IPTL. Josh, which would you like? Coca-Cola is the call. Carlos, your call.
We serve.
Okay, and what's going to be the lineup, Carlos? What are we going to open proceedings with?
Now we start with Mark.
With Mark against Andre.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, and what about after that?
You will see.
Keeping us. What are you going to do, Josh? You've got the legends first.
Yeah, look, we've got no bigger legend than Andre Agassi, so yeah, it's really exciting for the crowd, and it's going to be a huge night. Andre Agassi doesn't get any bigger.
Your team doesn't get any bigger. Have a look at the stars you've got there. Gee, it's going to be a great night of tennis. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's pumping.
Good luck, Carlos. Ladies and gentlemen, the tennis will commence in 3 minutes from now.
Well, of course, the home team captain has the option of playing the 5 sets in any order, but he's put Agassi in first. What a start.
Tell you what, this is good stuff. Talk about the big guns coming out early on both teams. And I think this is going to be a tightly contested affair. Huey Songa, we know how good they've been up against Hewitt Burdick. That's a good matchup because Burdick's played well.
Let me rewind you a little bit, though, because it's not been an easy night for Andre, right? Philippoussis played lights out the other day against Pat Rafter.
He did. But, of course, what Andre has that Pat doesn't is a great return of serve, and I think he might be able to neutralise Mark's serve a lot easier than what Pat was able to do. But Philippoussis is looking in showroom condition, isn't he?
He was. Let's not forget that there's no Murray, there's no Sharapova, so Jo-Wilfried Tsonga debuting in his singles position this evening.
Yeah, I think that's why he was working out so hard in the gym, getting limbered up and ready to go. Thomas Burdick has been good so far. As I mentioned, his wins have been substantial, and he's racked up a fair few points already for his team. Then Kyrgios Williams, the dynamic duo. What's going on there, Jason?
It's going to be a fantastic matchup, that, isn't it? And I think that's where they come in really strongly at the end. I mean, strength all the way through their roster, but if you're looking at Kyrgios and Williams as a mixed doubles, and then Serena, I think she's going to play a lot better than she did initially in the Philippines, because she'll have got used to the court service and the format, won't she?
Yeah, also just getting used to your teammates. You know, she might not have had a lot of interaction with some of the people on her team before, but I know Kyrgios really has been the one in the team who's welcomed her in. He's already played a lot of pranks on her and with her. And I think that'll help loosen Serena up a whole lot more, and she'll be ready to go tonight.
Time to recap what this format is all about. 4 teams contesting 24 matches in a round-robin format. 4 points awarded to each winning team per tie. 5 separate sets, and the team that wins the most games after the conclusion of the 5 sets wins. It's as simple as that. First to 6 games, deciding point at deuce, a timed shootout, 5 minutes at 5-all will decide the set, so very different from a normal tiebreak. But remember, there is a shot clock, only 20 seconds allowed between points, so play will be continuous. Team captains certainly will play their part too, with timeouts, power points, and substitutions allowed, 1 each per set. So it's going to be important for the captains to make the correct calls when called upon to do so. JL De Jager didn't necessarily captain his team as well as he would have wanted earlier, but did last week in Manila, and it makes a big difference. So Carlos Moya has a lot of responsibility this evening, captaining his team for the first time. So when these guys met in Manila, it was a very different story, because it was a slightly different team that we saw.
Yeah, it certainly was. Of course, Philippoussis filling in, Pat Rafter playing some singles action. Pat's been a little unlucky. He got Philippoussis when Philippoussis was white hot, and then Nick Kyrgios also playing a bit of singles there instead of Jo-Wilfried Tsonga today. Andy Murray, that was a good match, wasn't it? Probably one of the best matches we've had so far. That one going down to the very last stroke of the ball, and the shot clock as well in that shootout. It came to a nice crescendo with Murray just a little too strong. He was so pumped to get the win, didn't want to lose to the younger statesman.
So it means that everything is teed up beautifully this evening. I think this is going to be a big ask for Agassi. Of course, I haven't seen him play for a long, long time, but Philippoussis, my eyes, was absolutely outstanding in Manila. But he will need more of the same this evening. It's match number 8 in the Coca-Cola International Premier Tennis League, presented by Qatar Airways. It's Legends Singles. Why not start with the biggest of the guns, Andre Agassi, up against Mark Philippoussis. My name's Jason Galore. I'm here with Robbie Koenig, and we're courtside here in Singapore. Very much looking forward to this match. Such a deep bench, the DBS Singapore Slammers. And of course, Nick Kyrgios is so vocal as well. He's getting right in Andre's ear, which is good to see.
We're ready for play.
takes the serve.
A real sense of anticipation in this arena now. It's Mark Philippoussis against Andre Agassi. That's a rather inauspicious start. Well, delighted to say that captain of the DBS Singapore Slammers, Josh Eagles, joined us courtside. Josh, Jason Goodall in commentary here, and why not start with the biggest of your guns tonight? I mean, what's it like to have someone like Andre Agassi to pick in your team?
Well, he's absolutely brought unbelievable energy here to our team. He's done it all in the game, hasn't he, Andre Agassi? So he's been preparing for this. He's been talking it up, and look, really excited to be here. And we hope he can get us off to a good start. Although Mark played very well last week in Manila, so this will be a difficult task.
Yeah, I guess Josh or Robbie up here in the comms box. I guess slightly different in that Andre returns probably a lot better than what Pat does. So I think that might help neutralise Flip's big serving game.
Well, let's hope so. It's probably the matchup that Andre would like. He's always been one of the all-time great returners, so he'll relish the challenge of playing the big server in Mark Philippoussis. So, yeah, I mean, it's an exciting format. So he's got to get into that. He's got to find his feet and his ground. But yeah, look, we're confident. We're confident. Right? We've thrown out our best team.
And just looking down the order of play, Serena Williams and Nick Kyrgios playing some mixed doubles. That could be quite the match too.
Yeah, look, two really exciting personalities to be around, and they bring plenty to this team and also to this format. And yeah, they'll be very excited to play together. They've got great chemistry, and they've brought great chemistry to our team. So yeah, it'll be fun.
And very important, I think, to make the most of home court advantage for you guys over the next 3 nights, right?
That's right. We probably got off to the start we didn't want. Didn't win the big points. This format, matches can turn pretty quickly. So didn't get the start we wanted. So we feel like we've sort of ticked every box leading into today's match and these 3 matches, and this is where we really want to make up some ground on the rest of the fields.
Last question, Josh. Have you educated Andre on all the nuances and rules here?
Oh, we've been spending hours talking about it, but no, he's
Okay.
up to speed on it all. So yeah, we're ready to go. Serena should be great tonight.
Good. Good luck this evening, Josh.
Thanks.
Have a good one, Josh. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Agassi having a long, hard look at that last serve. So Philippoussis pretty much starting where he left off in Manila. Nice holds. That will help settle the nerves. This is a big game for Agassi here. It's a relatively slow court, but against someone like Philippoussis, sometimes it might be difficult to get into a bit of a rhythm. Agassi always used to like that, didn't he? These guys met 8 times when they're in their pomp on the ATP World Tour. Agassi won 6 of those. The last time they met was at Wimbledon, 2003, round of 16. Philippoussis won that one 6-4 in the 5th. They've played some big matches down the years. A couple of times they met at Wimbledon. They played at the Australian Open as well in 2000. Agassi won that one in 4 sets. Of course, he used to play so well, didn't he, down under? Agassi had a great record there.
He always came so well prepared from Las Vegas with the stifling conditions in the desert. He adapted so quickly, didn't he, to the conditions down in Melbourne where the heat was pumping. It's going to be key for Philippoussis just to get Agassi moving left and right, because if the ball's a little too central, Andre is so good at dominating the rally. Oh yes, it's done well as Flip.
Good dig, wasn't it, initially? And the nice feel once he'd made the distance here. It's very easy to over-press when you're a little nervous initially, and you can't get too much out of this court. So Philippoussis does have the advantage of having played already in Manila, and he's made good use of it. 2-love.
So you play all the lets, just a reminder, just as has been the case throughout the course of the tournament. You sit in college tennis as well in America, so it's not such a big deal. Of course, it is different to what happens on the regular tour.
Time to get set up, and it can hurt you off both ends. I was so impressed with the quality of his topspin backhand. Him and Manila, both when returning Rafter's serve, and when he gave him an opportunity to use it in a rally like that. That's a correction from the umpire. So that's game, and the Manila Mavericks have got off to the best possible start. It's a real baptism of fire for Andre Agassi. Gameless so far. It's 3-love to the Mavericks.
Try not to push the ball, you know what I mean? Be careful to make it move. That's okay, play well.
Let's go, mate. Here, let's go, buddy.
Must-win game for Agassi this. Love 3.
Better.
It's important to get the crowd involved, isn't it, as well? It's got to give them something to cheer early doors.
Good amount of pace and spin on that forehand. Just struggling with the first serves at the moment is Andre. For me, that was always the one shot that went the most, was the serve. Probably find it's because it was never his greatest asset, it's always going to be difficult for him. Ground strokes are going to be there. Movement always deserts you when you get a little older.
So happiness power point called means that this one counts double for the receiver. So break point in effect. Shot in the arm for Agassi that.
There goes one of the all-time Indian greats, Sunil Gavaskar.
Guy could play a bit, couldn't he?
Yes, Sunil. In fact, I think he's got a small stake in the DBS Singapore Slammers as one of the owners.
Tell you what, Robbie, he probably doesn't have a small stake in anything. A large stake.
Of meeting Sunil yesterday evening. Another one of those little maestros. My son was back home watching Mark play in his previous match, and he couldn't believe how big his serve still is. Just asked me, was it this big on tour? It's hardly changed, has it?
It's incredible. I commentated on a couple of his matches at Wimbledon when he played in the Legends doubles. They won it, in fact. Him and Thomas Enquist. And it was just 735 miles an hour. It was still rising when it hit the back fence. No one could return it. I mean, normally you have a problem with your shoulder, don't you? You can't generate the same racket head speed, but no problems in that regard for Philippoussis. Yeah, the knees might be a little dodgy, but the arm is still in great shape.
He lives down in San Diego. Does a lot of surfing these days. That's one of his major passions. And I guess that'll keep you in good shape. It'll keep the back and shoulders nice and strong. And it's working beautifully at the moment. It's unplayable stuff.
Mavericks up, 4-1.
Really? You play him here? Huh? 1 minute. Yeah. Let's go, mate.
Jason Gore alongside Robbie Koenig with the Coca-Cola International Premier Tennis League presented by Qatar Airways Legends singles up first this evening. The DBS Singapore Slammers. It's Andre Agassi for the Manila Mavericks. It's Mark Philippoussis. It's the Aussie who's got off to a flyer. 1-4. just missed it, I think. Yeah, there was a call on the baseline. He set the points up well.
I thought this got a piece of the line. I'm hoping for Andre's sake it did. Yes.
It's good length on the return, that. Agassi always used to be so good, didn't it? Half volleying the ball, but of course, it's such a difficult skill to maintain when you're not playing full time.
Look away, just stroked that one. Didn't try and hit it too hard, but what a difference when he makes his first serve, Jason. Just allows him to play off the front foot.
So deciding points, receiver has choice of sides. It's a killer. Every game does count. It's not how many sets you win, it's how many games you win for the completion of the 5 sets. So, he's just got to keep working, just got to try and win as many games as he possibly can. And it's been a difficult start, getting used to the pace of the court, getting used to the format, and playing somebody who's as hot as Mark Philippoussis. Yeah. He's hardly put a foot wrong in both sets that he's played so far.
Is that Leighton warming up in the background there? Is he thinking of maybe subbing himself in for Andre?
He's already given Josh a nudge, hasn't he?
It's a weird motion. Yeah. I just tried to kick a few first ones and I buried him.
Suffering some sort of serving woes as to what Crafter was suffering in his opening match. Just dropping the head, hitting too many into the net, not getting up enough.
So this is Philippoussis serving for the opening sets for the Mavericks. Just looking so strong. No holes in his game.
He's made it.
Anything that's dropped short in that attackable zone has been dealt with superbly. He's made it to the top of the nets, but it took the line as well. Double whammy for Agassi. So happiness power points for the Slammers. So a big point for both. shot was on. There was a gap there. Yep, just needed a little more elevation. It's good stuff from Agassi. It's fighting to the bitter end. Every game counts. It's the Mavericks who lead, but it's 5-2 now.
Andre's buzzing. He forgot it was a change of ends. I think buoyed by the fact that he's got the break and the energy from his bench.
It's not going to be on the Slammers team if you hate Aussies, is it? Team spirit. The DBS Singapore Slammers bench there. Serena's certainly getting into it a lot more than she did in Manila, so it's good to see. She's been welcomed with open arms by the rest of the team. She seems to be really enjoying herself this evening. So Philippoussis will be a little disappointed with that final forehand. You can see he's still thinking about it a little bit. But he does have a 5-2 lead.
Beautiful. Always had a good drop shot, did Andre. Such good disguise. Because the take back on his backhand is so simple, it's quite easy to make the adjustment. The last minute just comes under it.
Starting to get into Philippoussis' head a little bit. I'll still be thinking about that missed forehand on set point in the previous game.
Be careful here. That was a pretty simple forehand. Plenty of time on the ball there for Andre. That's bread and butter for him.
So, very different scoreline now. Mavericks up 5-3. In the previous game, so 40-30, Philippoussis could have used his happiness power point and it would have been set points, but Carlos Moya not making that call, so that was a wasted opportunity. Still got one up his sleeve. That's more like it. What a return that
was. Well, some things haven't changed. How's that 1-2 combination?
He's not making as many first serves now, Philippoussis, either. Definitely a bit of additional tension in his arm now. It's a chance, wasn't it? Oh, what a response. Wonderful serve that. Completely outfoxing Agassi. Set point. Excellent set of tennis from Mark Philippoussis. A baptism of fire for Andre Agassi. Rock solids. Very few holes in Philippoussis' game there. And it's the Manila Mavericks that get off to a great start, 6-3.
Well, he's picked up from where he left off in Manila. Serve was really the big difference between them. Early on, he was able to play off the front foot and some good shot making from Flip. And I think Craig Willis is down on the court with both of the protagonists.
Guys, what a pleasure to see you, but it's not since Wimbledon 2003 that I've seen you guys play together. But Andre, welcome to Singapore.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be back. It's been too many years.
Probably not the start you were looking for, but gee, you're still stroking the ball beautifully.
Yeah, well, these sets go by in a hurry, especially playing somebody like Mark who can just end a point so fast. So I was a little too nervous just to ever settle down out here. It went by a little too fast, but that's why I'm staying here a few days and trying again tomorrow.
You're still as competitive as ever, and it's just great to see. Mark, congratulations. You've hardly put a foot wrong in Manila and now in Singapore.
Well, I mean, you know, Andre getting in yesterday, and like you said, he was tough for him to get his eye in, and he started to do that, and I was getting a little nervous, and you don't want to give him any kind of look on the ball. He hits the ball. I mean, he cannot play for 5 years, grab any racket and play incredible. So it was just a privilege and just awesome to get back out on the court and see him on the court again. It was a great thrill.
I couldn't agree more. Andre, can I ask you, I know you keep in pretty good physical condition, but have you been doing any extra training, preparing for the IPTL?
Well, it's a fine line preparing for these things because sometimes just the time spent on court can be your liability. So you got to choose your moments and prepare smartly, and you know, you do your best to be your best, but you know, these guys set a rough standard out here.
You guys were terrific to watch. Well done. Andre, Mark, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, so nice to see the likes of Andre Agassi joining us here on the Coca-Cola International Premier Tennis League, presented by Qatar Airways. But tonight, Robbie, I guess, just beaten by somebody who played just a little better.
You know, Andre struggled with the serve throughout, and even though Philippoussis' first serve percentage is at 43%, he started out better, a lot better, and once he got a substantial lead, it was always going to be tough for Andre to reel him in. As Andre said, so difficult when Mark doesn't give you any rhythm whatsoever. And winner's turn force steroids ratio, outstanding for the big Aussie. But even someone who's played as much competitive tennis as Agassi was still a little nervous out there in the opening couple of games, but he'll be back for more. Of that you can be absolutely certain.
So that's Agassi.